Hi guys, and welcome to LWP's podcast. So as you are all aware, I am joined tonight by CW Davis. We never quite know what's going to happen when you introduce Charlie into the mix, so I will apologise if there is any swear words in advance. So bear with, because like I say, we never know what we're going to get. Likewise, if anybody's got any questions that they want Charlie to answer, pop it in the comments box and I'll make sure that I ask him for you. So without further hesitation, let's introduce the man himself. It's CW Davis. Hello.
Hi, yeah. You all right? Yeah,
How's
good, thank you.
You been busy?
Yeah, really busy. Yeah, I've just been at work all day. Literally just got in, so yeah, really busy.
And is wearing clothes, everybody. I have already commented. It's nice to see him wearing clothes for a change.
They can come off on request.
If anybody wants Charlie to remove his clothes, just pop it in the comments and we can have that arranged. So, Charlie, it's Charlie tonight, not CW Davis. This is weird. It's so strange, isn't it? It's like
that is a bit odd, yeah.
Difference in the people between CW Davis and Charlie. It's like, oof. So let's just go right back to the very beginning. So I ask everybody this question in regards to the passion for wrestling. Where did it come from?
I grew up in the 90s and wrestling was massive then. I remember going to Seattle in 97 and I saw, scrolling through the channels, I think it was the highlights from Undertaker, Shawn Michaels Hell in a Cell. And ever since then, I've been hooked, really.
So has it always been a dream to get into
Yeah, I
wrestling?
remember buying, what was it? WCW, NWO, Revenge, and telling my mum that I was going to be a professional wrestler. She laughed, so.
Yeah. But she's not laughing now, is she? She's like, oh no, he's done it.
yeah, that's probably it, to be fair. That's normally her reaction to me.
So it's from childhood, it's always been something that you really wanted to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming to the States as well isn't something new for you, is it? You just said you was in Seattle and you see it on the TV and it was like, I want to go from there. You've actually wrestled in the States as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I wrestled for the American Wrestling Federation in Minneapolis, did a couple of shows for them, and then I actually did a dark match and some extra work for the NWA back in 2019 now. God, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. It feels it, doesn't it? So how did that come about? Because that's not just something that gets offered to you on a plate, is it? You have to work hard to get that sort of offer.
Yeah, no, that came about because Nick Aldis was the NWA champion at the time. He comes back, obviously he's from Kings Lynn area, comes back and uses my gym. And I said to him about, I'd love to get out there. And he went away, come back and said, look, I could be able to get you some work out there. Are you interested? And I was, yeah, 100%. And we went from there, really.
Sign me up. How was it? How was it out there?
It was amazing. I love America. The dream would be to live out in America one day, potentially. But yeah, no, it was something completely different. Minneapolis, everyone was so friendly. So when I saw the riots there, like the year after, I was amazed because I'd walk in the mornings and people would stop you for a chat. When you went to the CAF, everyone was so polite. And then going to Atlanta, that was something else completely different. You were treated like a celebrity there. We kept getting stopped because I was with Ken Anderson, Trevor Murdoch, and Tin Storm. I shared a house with them. So we were getting stopped in the street, getting pictures, and it was something completely different.
It's like we all need to bow. It's Sir Charlie, everybody now. So let's go right back. So 2021, right back. It's not that far away, is it? 2021, you entered the ring and you took home King of the Castle.
Yeah, December 2020. Yeah, wow, 21. So that's coming up to 2 years.
It's crazy, right? How quick it's gone.
That's gone really quick.
And that just wasn't it, was it? Because you didn't stop at King of the Castle. You also took home the belt for the heavyweight champion as well.
Yeah, I was the first ever LWP heavyweight champion, and I held it for just shy of a year. I think 10 months till last October.
Till October, yeah, with the The match with the Arcadius himself. That was a match and a half. That I'm not gonna lie.
That was a good match, definitely. Yeah, I enjoyed every second of it.
You did. The crowd was going mental. I think I was hidden behind my hand quite a lot, to be fair. I wasn't doing damage control. That was.
Oh, yeah, no, that was one of my favourite matches, definitely.
It was mind blowing from an audience point of view, definitely. So yeah, you kept hold of it for about 10 months, give or take, and then Arcadius has taken it. Are you wanting it back?
Yeah, I definitely. I think I deserve a rematch, definitely. So I think Arcadius has got Brad O'Brien at the next show.
Brad O'Brien, yeah.
So yeah, no, it's definitely something in the future that I'd like to have a rematch that I think I'm entitled to.
Oh, rematch. He's putting it out there. Is that for Mr. Breeze's benefit, is it?
Yes, that is, yeah. Straight to the point.
Well, ask and you may receive. You never quite know. So your next big match that you've got, not really, but you've got several coming up, haven't you? But for LWP, you've got a tag match with the Lion.
I have, and we're facing the UK Pitbulls.
How's that going to work? I'm really intrigued in how this is going to work as a partnership, Charlie, because you are partnering up, but in the summer, we already know that you are both going head to head.
Yeah, we're going to tag against the Pitbulls, but it doesn't mean I'm actually going to get in the ring and do anything.
What? No. You can't do that. That's like a whole Sykesy thing all over again.
We'll see.
So do you think this is going to impact, because I'm seriously intrigued by it. I don't quite know how it's going to play out because, as I've said a million times with you, we never quite know which way it's going to go.
No, so Aaron and I have never wrestled in LWP, and we've had one prior match, I believe, for Big Top. I've wrestled the Pitbulls many times. He's wrestled the Pitbulls many times. So yeah, we all know each other well-ish. So yeah, we'll just see what happens on the night.
Oh, you're not giving me a lot there, Charlie.
No.
Aaron, keep your eyes on this one is all I'm saying. We'll see what happens, eh? You're not going to give me anything on it, though?
Well, as long as he does as he's told, it'll be fine.
Ooh. And what if he wants you to do as you're told?
Well, that's going to go one way. Badly.
See, this is what I mean. It's two very strong characters that are going to come head to head in the near future because it's been set for what, summertime? I haven't got the exact date yet, but I know it's summer.
Yeah, summertime. It's one of the. Is it? I can't remember what one it is. Is it Happy Days?
I think
one of them, I think.
Yeah. I'm not sure on the date though. I'm sure it's been put out there. Happy Days in summer.
Yeah, I don't think the date's confirmed yet.
No, I don't think it has been. But you two are really strong characters on your own. You are going to come head to head, but now you've been thrown into a partnership. So
yeah, no, it will be a good match. It's free as well, free entry to all the fans, I think. So
yeah.
Shows. So hopefully it'll be packed, and yeah, it'll be a good night.
See, the UK Pitbulls, they're a force to be reckoned with on their own anyway, aren't they?
No shit.
Is this from
about 20 years ago? Yeah.
Is this because you've wrestled them before? So who's won in the previous matches then?
50-50. I've actually got a match with them coming up in April the 22nd at Holt. So that's for Big Top Wrestling. So I'm wrestling them with another tag partner for the Big Top belt. So yeah, we'll see who comes out on top on that one.
Oh dear. Did you see the podcast that I did with Mr. Brace?
No.
Well, this is going to be interesting. You're in her top I want to slap wrestlers list.
I think there's probably a list about a mile long of people want to slap me, so I'm not surprised.
So you're just happy to take that one? That's
Yeah,
just like...
no, I'm like Marmite. You either love me or you hate me. So, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, as a person as you are now, I love you. Get you in that wrestling ring, and I think you're an absolute
Yeah, I'm not much better backstage either. So.
Well, I know, I've been there. You do, but it's all a part of your character, though, isn't it? And I think that's what it can sometimes be hard to differentiate against the two. So you as a person and you as the wrestler, because as a person, you are a genuinely lovely guy.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time. So if you could take on anybody out of let me get my words out. Honestly, I'm rubbish today. If you could face anybody in the LWP ring, literally anybody, who would it be?
Do they have to be LWP roster or
literally anyone?
The match I'd like the most would be Trevor Murdoch. Working with him in America was cool. He gave me some cool advice. So if he ever did a tour of the UK, I'd be well up for working with him.
Okay. And out of the LWP roster, who would it be?
I've never wrestled Brad O'Brien, so that'd be quite interesting.
Well,
so if he can get past Arcadius, we'll see.
That could be very, very interesting. That because he's quite fit as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's smaller, so he'd have speed and stuff. But I think it'd be quite a good match.
He's quick off the mark, definitely, very quick. Yeah, watching him for King of the Castle last year, I was quite surprised at how quick he was.
Yeah, his gymnastics skills are quite good. That's about it.
There's absolutely nothing for anybody else, is that? Everybody's pants and you're the best.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So wrestling isn't your only passion, is it, Charlie?
No, it's not. No, I own a gym as well, and I'm also in prep for a bodybuilding show. I've got my first show on April the 16th.
I was going to say it's coming up pretty soon now, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 weeks Sunday, so...
The 16th. So how long does your prep take you for your bodybuilding?
So I've only done a 16-week prep from January the 1st to the actual show date. This is just hopefully qualify for the Universe, which is in May the 24th, I want to say off the top of my head.
So would the prep then continue?
Yeah, it would. I'd have a couple of days off and then, straight back on it.
See, that's mental. So what does your prep entail? And I know that's sounds like a stupid question, but...
So to start with, I just clean my diet up, which is clean anyway most of the year. I just take out like my higher days, which this year consisted of burgers and stuff. So I cut that out straight away. Slowly increase my cardio while bringing my carbohydrates and food down. And that's it until we get lean enough, and then you can play about with carbs and glycogen into the muscle, etc.
Does the diet affect your mood? And I know that sounds like a really stupid question, but trust me, I am not. My diet is horrendous. I would be your worst client.
It did to start with. I remember my first prep, I stored all the food. I was miserable. This one's been pretty smooth sailing, to be fair. I haven't really craved anything. My protein's been quite high. I've still done high days here and there so I don't go too flat. So no, it's not been too bad this time. But in the past, yeah, it has been hard. The first time I ever did it back in 2016 was hard. 2017 was hard. And then I did last year. That was quite hard as well. But this year it doesn't seem too bad.
So where did the bodybuilding come from? At what point did that come into the mix?
Well, as a kid, I was always playing rugby. I was active, and I snapped my ligaments in, I think, my left ankle when I was playing rugby for Holt when I was 18. I then piled on the weight badly. I got up to 20, I think I was 21 stone with a 44-inch waist. And I thought, right, something needs to be done. And I've always watched action films with Arnie, like Stallone. Van Damme. And as a kid, obviously, you had all the wrestlers like Scott Steiner, just looking insane. So I've always followed bodybuilding, like Dorian Yates. Being from the UK, I followed Dorian Yates a lot. And then, I thought I'm going to give this a go, do something which is about that. I've always wanted to do something different. I've always been scared to just be normal and have a normal hobby, normal job. I've always wanted to do something out there. So, yeah, so I give bodybuilding a go.
So how did it start? So what did you say, 21 stone?
I was 21 stone with a 44-inch waist, yeah. And I think I got down to, I think my lightest I got down to was about 12 stone. And now I sit around, I think the heaviest I've been back up to is about 17. And I'm now just under 15 at the moment.
That's pure muscle though, isn't it? Because there isn't an ounce of fat on you.
There's a little bit to come off, but not too much.
Where are you looking?
My glutes, under my glutes, I hold a little bit of water and fat. So
yeah, okay then, Charlie.
I can drop my trousers and show you if you want.
No, you're all right. I think honest to God. So at 21 stone, you woke up one morning and said, I've had enough. I want to change. I'm going to do it. So where on earth did you start? How did you start?
I started going to the gym with a friend, and it just went from there. I kept going. I did a bit of MMA for fitness, which helped get my body fat down. And then I started getting into bodybuilding about 22, 23. So, but 21 is when I was at my heaviest, and then I started coming down from there. So, yeah, I'd say about 23, 24, I started saying I'd like to bodybuild. I did my first show was the Rob Ronaldo Classic in 2016, and that didn't look very good at all. It looked horrendous, but obviously start somewhere, and then from there I've slowly built up. And yeah, hopefully this year will be a big year.
I think your idea of looking horrendous and your average Joe's idea of looking horrendous is two completely different things, in all fairness.
Yeah, no, that is true. I am my own worst critic, but I think you have to be successful in anything. You've got to be your own worst critic.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt, 100%. Like you have to be hard with yourself, definitely. And I find this with a lot of the wrestlers as well. You are all very strict and very hard on yourselves, to the extent where sometimes I think it can be too much. You're too hard on yourselves. But
yeah, potentially, yeah.
Like you, the stamina and the fitness of you guys is just insane. For average Joe blogs over here that finds it hard to run for a bus, let alone anything else, it's shocking. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it can't be easy. Like I know myself, I yo-yo with my weight, but then as I said earlier, hands up, I would be the same with Aaron. I say it to him all the time. I would be your worst client. I eat once a day. When I do eat, it's just something quick because I just need to eat because I'm starting to feel sick. So I'll just shove anything in and then crack back on with whatever I'm doing. Exercise wise, I could do better. I'm not gonna lie, but it's all the excuses, isn't it? That's what you guys say, because Aaron says it all the time. It's excuses.
Excuses. Which is the reason you are where you are, and I firmly believe this for anyone, is down to you. Like, so when I was at my largest, I wasn't in a good place, obviously, and I used to blame everyone else for fights I get into. If I got arrested, that was always everyone else's fault. It was never my own. Until I started realizing that every action has a reaction. Everything I do has put me where I am today. So it's no one else's fault. It's my fault. No one else. And as soon as you take accountability for your own actions, I think that's when you can move forward on anything.
Do you not think, though, sometimes, especially in the diet and fitness side of things, do you not think that sometimes it's not excuses, it's lack of understanding?
Yeah, definitely. I have conversations. There's a woman at the moment who comes to my gym, and she would literally just starve herself. She'd be eating salad, and that was it all day. And I was like, you can't live off this. This isn't healthy.
That's what you think's. Because this is what, like, if you look at the media and if you look at any sort of social media, all the skinny people are like, I eat salad for dinner, salad for breakfast. It's like ridiculous. Whereas, what is it? You eat 5 times a day?
Oh, no, I've included my shakes. I have about 8 meals a day. So there's just been an article in the local paper today. One of my clients, she's doing a show for the first time this year. She actually came to me about 4 years ago. She was quite large and lasted about a week. She was not into it. She just didn't want to do it. And fair enough. You can't make someone do something they don't want to do. But she came back in October and she lost her brother tragically 18 months ago. And he'd suffered really badly from his mental health, and he was drinking, and I think he finally hit his head. I think. I feel bad now because I can't remember what she told me. But yeah, so he passed away, and that really affected her. She was in a bad place, and
Rising, bless her.
She'd got up to, I think, 75 kg, something like that. Pretty heavy.
Is that it?
And yeah, she joined me. She's training with me. She's now looks completely different. And she's raising money for mental health, men's mental health specifically.
I think I've actually seen some of the posts. Have you tagged her in a few posts recently?
Yes, yeah, no, I actually put a picture on my story of Princess Fiona before and after, and put the link in that, and tagged her in that.
Oh my God.
So yeah, but no, she's doing really well, and she was one of them sort of people who would eat once a day, and that was it. And now, when I first gave her a diet, she was like, "Oh my God, I can't eat this much food." And now on her rest days, she's a miserable bitch because I get cut her food, obviously, slightly. So yeah, but no, she was one of them sort of thing who ate once a day, and now she eats 6 meals a day, is active.
See, I get that. The thought of eating 6 times a day, like, I have no idea how you can do it, how you can physically stomach it. Is it something that you have to get used to over time with the diet side of things?
Yeah, you do get used to the diet over time, but I've never had an issue eating. I've always liked food. I'm massive. Like, if I wanted to go and eat, I could just keep eating and eating and eating all day, literally, until I feel sick, and then I'd rest, and I'd keep eating it. I have to stop myself from doing that. It takes a lot of willpower some days.
I see. I'm more of a, I have to force myself to eat, which is why I cling on to the weight, because my body's forever going, I don't know when I'm going to get fed again.
Yeah, no, basically your body's basically going back to like caveman days where it's survival, so it'll store anything you have, it'll store it.
Yeah.
For later, because it doesn't know when it's going to get fed again, basically. So little and often you speed up your metabolism, and you're going to burn through that food really quick.
Yeah, very quick. That's why I'm shattered all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is the other thing, mental health side of things. You touched on it with your client that you're currently working with, mental health side of things. So how important is your fitness and your wrestling and your bodybuilding? How important is all that for your mental health? Because mental health is massive these days, and especially for you males, because apparently you males don't talk enough.
Yeah, no, I'm a big advocate for mental health sort of thing, and I think Aaron's pretty much the same. Like, we can help other people, but when it comes to your own as well, sometimes I do let myself slip.
Easy done.
Which is easily done, yeah. But no, keeping active always helps me. I enjoy it. I get pleasure out of helping other people. Working out, obviously, releasing endorphins into the brain. So just getting up, just going for a walk in the morning, that just sets me up for the day. I try and be more open about how my feelings, etc., which isn't always the easiest thing to do. But I always find that fitness helps. Whatever sort of day you're having, you go to the gym, you're going to feel better straight away.
See?
Unless one of my members has got mud on the floor, and then I'll have a paddy and throw a bottle and storm out. But yeah, apart from that, it all goes well.
Does that happen often?
Yeah, it did happen the other day. Yeah, someone walked mud all through the gym, and I'm calling it a scene.
Well, this
but
is
it was entertaining.
We've touched on the fact that you do personal training as well, and you do own your own gym. Mm-hmm. Velocity, strength and fitness.
Yeah, velocity, strength and fitness, and then I do online PTing as well, coaching, transformations, just anything basically.
So where do you find the time? You've got the gym, so I'm guessing you're at the gym most days.
I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I do my own cardio. I made sure I take the dogs for a walk. My dogs, I've got 2 dogs. Take them for a walk. If I've got my son, I have to sort him out, take him to school. And then I will just literally go back to back with clients all day, and then train myself and try and fit a few more in the evening.
What time does your day end?
If at the moment I've cut my clients in the evening because obviously my food's quite low or quite tired, so they're not getting value for money. But in the off season, when I'm eating a lot of food, 10 o'clock. Sometimes if I get talking, it'll be 11 o'clock. And then I'll come home, go to bed, get up, do it all again.
Well,
So, yeah.
what I don't understand with that is, oh, listen up, me. There's a fat bird telling you off now. When it comes to looking after yourself, eating healthy, your fitness levels, etc., is 7 hours of sleep important?
7 hours sleep is important. So if I have an hour in the afternoon, I'll go have a quick nap in the office.
But that's not, you've got to have a full 7 hours.
You do, but also with my diabetes, I never get a full 7 hours because I'm always up going to the toilet. So
right, okay, yeah. See, that's the other thing, but I suppose really because you have got diabetes. I didn't know if that was like common knowledge. So
yeah, no, I'm type 1 diabetic as well.
But since you've put it out there, how does that work with the wrestling and the fitness and the bodybuilding? Because you're gonna have to be careful, obviously, with your sugar levels, aren't you?
It does not hold me back in anything I want to do. Literally nothing. As long as I check my sugar levels and I'm careful of what I eat, I weigh all my food out, I monitor my glucose. It does go up and down because that's just how it is.
That's life, right?
It's just life. Like stress, tired, anything can affect it. But as long as you manage it, it can't stop you doing anything. I remember when I first got it, and doctors, they were basically, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and that's all I heard all the time. And I was like, well, you can. Surely you can just like look at it, and you look at like Henry Slade's rugby player, my friend Calvin Hyde, he's a pro bodybuilder. They're both type 1 diabetics, but like Calvin, I've worked with Calvin quite closely, and I text him back and forth all the time. And some things that affect him won't affect me, and then things that affect him, blah blah blah. It's ridiculous. I remember texting him being like, my sugars keep going up during the night, and I texted him on good things. He was like, what are you doing? You eating? You must be eating. I was like, mate, I'm not. Nothing. And it was just, I don't know what was causing it. It just randomly happened. But then it come back down. I had to just use more insulin and self-medicate basically.
Do you have to, like, before you go into the ring, so before you've got a match, do you check your levels just to make sure that you are 100% ready to go in that ring?
Yes, I check my sugar levels before I go out, yeah.
But
I think I've dropped once when I've been in there, and I just have to focus a little bit harder and just get through it. It's just makes you a bit more tired and out of breath.
Do people that do your opponents think that that's a bit of a weakness for you? Do they think if I could just tire him out, make his sugar levels drop a bit, that I've got this in the bag?
Well, they'll be trying for a long time.
Just keep going. Just keep going. Oh, honestly. So at one time that they did drop when you was in the ring then, how did that affect you?
My balance goes a little bit. Judge, like, communication's not as good as it normally is. But it's just because of my fitness levels are quite high, it's not the end of the world. So you just get around it basically. So I've had it, which I should have just got off the treadmill. But I've had it when I've got on the treadmill. I've been doing an hour. I've been on like 10 minutes. I can feel my sugars dropping, and I was like, "Well, I've still got 50 minutes left. I've got to keep going."
Who goes on the treadmill for an hour?
Yeah, this last few weeks of prep, sometimes you have to do an hour just to get that extra bit of fat off.
I keep telling you, you are going to have to listen at some point. There's no fat on you. Stop being silly. Honestly, it's shocking. It scares me. It scares me how fit you guys are. It really does, because it's the effort. Because I'm guessing you prep all your food. Do you have one day a week or something where you batch cook?
I try and cook most of my food daily if I get time, in the morning or in the night before, so it's fresh. But if I don't have time, I'll batch cook 3-4 days ahead.
But you eat like a million times a day.
Yeah.
How on earth can you cook that fresh every day? That must be impossible.
So you get your chicken, you weigh it out, cook it either on the pan in the oven, then split it in between how many meals it's going to be. Rice, again, you weigh it, then weigh it when it's cooked.
Do you just live off chicken and rice?
My diet is steak and eggs, chicken and rice, steak and rice. In the off season, I'll have salmon and potatoes as well. I'll have cream of rice and chicken, and Greek syrup fat yogurt as well, and peanut butter, and oats if I get time as well.
See, is that it?
Yeah. I really like my food, to be fair, like that. It's easy to eat.
Do you just eat it dry? Do you not have no sauces?
No, I do. There's lots of seasonings I do. There's a new one I've got that Tesco seem to be doing. I don't know what it is. It's like, does it like Chinese spare rib sort of flavour. So I put that on the steak and it tastes really nice.
Now you're talking my
language. That tastes really nice. And then all the Nando's stuff, I use all that.
So it's not like it's just.
It's not just dry. The last few weeks it will be dry, but that's just I don't want anything else in my body.
So literally these last few weeks before your bodybuilding comp, you are literally just going to eat dry, plain.
Yeah. So till a week on Monday, I will be doing pretty much protein, fats, most meals, a little bit of carbs around my workout. That's about it, to try and just deplete the muscles as much as possible. And then the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, potentially Thursday, depending on how I look, I'll put a lot more carbs in to try and fill myself out. And then I'll do 2 days of just drying out, just cutting the water. And yeah, trying to make my skin look like dick skin, basically. To put it bluntly.
God. Thanks for that, Charlie.
Well, this is an image we all know, don't we? So
no, there might be some of the children that are watching this that actually don't have a clue what you're on about right now.
Well, they can go ask Mummy and Daddy, I'm sure.
The parents are gonna love you. Mom, CW Davis just said this.
Yeah, well, it won't be the first time, probably.
No, I'm sure it won't, actually, in all fairness. Why do you like competing so much, whether it be in the ring or the bodybuilding? What is it that spurs you on? Is it the need for wanting to be the best, or is it because you want to be the best for yourself?
I like to test myself. I want to just test myself at whatever I do and just see actually how good I am. So I went to parents' evening for my son yesterday, and the only criticism they had of him was that he was too competitive for sport. And I was like, how can you be too competitive in sport? You can't. That's the whole point. You're doing sport to compete against someone. And,
and I said this last week when I was speaking to Arcadius. The problem that we've got at the minute is the whole world's gone a bit snowflakey.
Oh God, yeah.
It really does. Even down to the wrestling, if there's a little bit of bloodshed these days, everybody goes panic stations.
Yeah, you can't have a joke with some people nowadays. It's ridiculous.
No, it's horrendous. So because we're in this snowflake city central, Sports Day is now do the best that you can. I
walked off from Sports Day last year because I was so angry. They did an egg and spoon race, and me and Leanne told Reese to put his thumb on the egg so he could win. And there was no winners. They didn't care. They didn't even tell them off for cheating, and they didn't care. And then there's this other one where they got sponges, they threw it against the wall, and I was like, well, what's the point in this? And it's just fun. I went, well, it's not a sport, is it? It's not teaching the child how to lose, how to work if you're doing it as a team, working as a team. There's so many things that you learn from being competitive in sport.
Can we just go back to throwing a sponge at a wall?
Yes, yeah, no, that's what they were doing. And then they told Reese off for getting too close to the wall and said it's cheating. So my response was, how can you cheat when there's no winner?
Fair play, actually.
And they had no answer, so yeah.
Well, what can they say? What can they say?
Nothing, yeah.
That's a fair enough statement.
But no, I try and put my son into, he plays rugby now. I'm trying to get him into a basketball team locally, so he's got something to do in the summer. And he's does kickboxing as well, just because all them things, I think, build him as a character, develop him as a young adult sort of thing.
So the snowflake bit, because I love this snake, because it irritates me, to be honest. As you know, you've met me several times now. What you see is what you get. There is no airs and graces. Can't be doing with that. Not got enough hours in the day.
100%. Yeah.
When it comes to the wrestling, as I said, I have touched upon the fact that, a little bit of bloodshed and it's panic stations. Everybody starts freaking out because everything needs to be more PG. How do you think that this snowflake syndrome, is now what I'm going to call it, has affected the wrestling?
I think it's affected it badly. I think if you look back at when it was most popular in the Attitude Era, you couldn't get away with any of that now. It's just, yeah, it's sad. It's
See, I was an
sad
80s
that
baby. When you said earlier, you're a 90s child, you grew up
mm,
with wrestling. You see, I was 80s, so 80s, 90s. It's all that was on the telly for kids. Do you know what I mean? Other than
yeah.
Rosie and Jim or something like that. So, everybody did sort of migrate towards wrestling. And it was a whole world apart from what it is now.
Oh, it's totally different. I'll sit there and watch hours of 80s, 90s wrestling. Today's product, I'll watch just because I know a few people who wrestle for AEW. That's about it. I couldn't tell you what's happening in WWE.
So
I watch a bit of NWA, but really don't
you
know.
push the boundaries a bit though, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's the same, like I have noticed LWP at Shy up pushing the boundaries a bit. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, they don't take it too far, but you definitely push the boundaries.
100%. Yeah. No, 100%. If you get offended by what I do, tough. I don't care. That's your choice to get offended. Like, I saw a post the other day. I think Michael Bisping, the UFC fighter, posted it. He was like, why don't 99% of the population who aren't offended stop pandering to 1% that are? And I thought that's pretty true.
Yeah, fair enough. What are you going to say to that?
Yeah, they're literally like, why are these young kids getting offended by what's happening, like something that they've never been to? You know what I mean? Like, it's mad.
It's actually quite scary. And I like the fact, that you are definitely pushing your son to enter sports, because I do think that sports are important for kids, definitely.
Yeah, definitely 100%.
I think, well, you've met my little boy anyway. He's 1. I don't think he's going to be that much longer before he's actually trying to scramble in the ring with you all.
Oh, bless.
It's scary. He loves it. When I first started taking him, I thought, I don't know if he's going to like this. It might be a bit too loud, all the noises. I thought, bearing in mind he was 4 months. It's like, I don't think he's going to like this. But here he was with his ear defenders on, and he was instantly like looking what's going on, and he loves it. Absolutely loves it. So I think he's going to be joining you, in all fairness.
Yeah, no, Reese has been coming since he was about 2. Yeah, about 2. And it's developed him as a character as well. He's learned a few things that he probably shouldn't have learned, but oh well, he'll be all right.
Wonder where he got up from. Do you think Reese is going to take up wrestling as well? Do you think that's something that
I think he might do? Yeah, I do. He's got an interest. He likes fighting and messing around. So yeah.
Do you spar with him?
Yes, home? Yeah. I do throw him around a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, loads. Yeah, he often gets just thrown around the house randomly. Or I might come behind him and hit him with something.
No, you don't.
Yeah, well, I think we're in Booker's, like the wholesalers. They threw him into the toilet rolls that were all stacked up.
Oh my God.
I have a tendency to do it with whoever I was. I was with someone the other day, and I put them in one of them big wheelie bins at the Booker's and just walked off.
No, oh my God. Note to self: never go anywhere with you. Anywhere. It's dangerous. Oh my God, Charlie, you're an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, pretty much.
So where do you want to go from here then? Obviously you've got the bodybuilding coming up. Fingers crossed you get through to the next round or the next stage. Is it round or stage? What do you call it?
So this is just a qualifier, and then Universe is an international show, and you've got the British finals, which is in October as well. So there's plenty of things to go for.
So
and
you are
eventually working for a pro card, but I think we're a couple of years off yet.
So you're literally going to have to be on it with your diet. Do you ever have a day off?
I'll have a day off here and there. I plan in November. I'm looking at getting flights to Texas for 2 weeks to go out there, train for a bit, and just eat some barbecue, really, and shoot some guns.
You see, it sounded great up until the bit where you said train.
Yeah, and there's some gyms out there that are world renowned, so I'd like to go train in them, and yeah.
You are crazy. You're one of the craziest people I have ever met in my life.
I take that as a compliment. So
a good few years ago, you wouldn't have recognised me because I look so different, because I was obsessed with the gym. I'd go 3 times a day. So I'd go in the morning before work, on my dinner hour, and then after work. I was obsessed, loved it. But I only loved the weight training. hate cardio.
Yeah, see, the only cardio I do is steady state, so it's mainly just walking, going on the Stairmaster, and I'll put a podcast on, I'll put a YouTube video on, or I'll do client plans while I'm on there, and I just type it out while I'm walking, basically. And that's the only cardio I really do.
See, cardio is horrendous. I did do a half marathon once.
Yeah, see, that sounds like hell to me. I could not.
It is
My
hell.
calves would give up about mile 1, so.
It's horrendous. Don't ever do it. If anybody is considering doing a half marathon, don't.
No, running just does not appeal to me. I've done it, but I do not enjoy it.
No, we see, I don't. But weight training, I get the appeal for that.
Yeah, no, I love to train. I love to go in, lift weights, get a good pump, have a laugh with your friends, and yeah.
But that is what it's all about, isn't it? So in regards to the wrestling, where do you see yourself going in the next 12 months?
I'd like to get back out to America again. Go out there and do a mini tour as well. I'm going to speak to a few promoters, see if I can get back out there. I'd like to go to Germany. I spoke to Dave Davis when he was over the last show, the King of the Castle, I think.
Yeah, December
he was over, wasn't he? Yeah, so I spoke to him. So yeah, I might have to give him a little nudge and be like, "Where's my flight?" But yeah, just do that. Wrestle for LWP. There's only a few companies in the UK that I actually want to work for, because again of the snowflakey dressing rooms and stuff. I just cannot be asked to sit there with them all sitting on their phones, not having any conversation. And yeah, but I like working for LWP. I would wrestle for Four Star, do my own big top shows. I like working with friends, the old school guys, and having a laugh.
You do like having a laugh. Well, Charlie, I'm intrigued to see where the next 12 months takes you, and I wish you all the luck in the world with your bodybuilding.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure to talk to the real you tonight. And I will see you very, very soon. So for everybody that's been watching tonight, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you all again next week. Take care, everyone.